It's finally happening. Todd Howard is afraid to get fired by Bethesda. I can feel it because Bethesda has never done this in their entire history. They have never even come close, in fact, to this. In fact, they have done the opposite. But this time, Bethesda has apologized for delivering an unfinished, unplayable, buggy mess of a cash grab project that should never have been sold in the first place. Well, that's at least what they should be doing. I don't know what they are apologizing for, but this is the first time in history Bethesda even addresses anything. And that means Todd Howard is feeling the heat. I talked about this yesterday. Maybe I should have talked more about this, honestly. But there is no way that Microsoft is looking at Bethesda and being like, yeah, Todd Howard's doing a great job. Todd Howard hasn't done anything worthwhile in 20 goddamn years. His grand magnum opus super baby, Starfield, he removed his name from that thing. He made the thing that he was dreaming to make since he was a child, and then it just collapsed. And he removed his name from it. He doesn't even talk about it. You cannot be the face of a company called Bethesda, be synonymous with it, and be hated by every fan that there still is left, even at this point. I mean, even if you're a Bethesda fan somehow at this point, you probably still dislike Todd Howard to a very, very noticeable degree at this point. It is crazy. But yeah, Bethesda has decided the response. It's a 5-minute video by Juicehead, which means, what do you think is going to happen here, boys? Bethesda is going to claim no responsibility and say that all of the problems are overblown, or Bethesda is going to say, the problems are not that big, you should buy the slop anyway, or they're actually going to say that they're going to fix things and do things. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Of course. I mean, why would I not trust Bethesda? You know what I'm saying? But who would not trust Bethesda? They're so trustworthy and not liars at all.
In a very unusual late afternoon tweet, Bethesda Game Studios just posted an update around some of the ongoing Fallout 4 problems, laying out their future patch plans and some of the fixes you can expect.
By the way, if you're a Fallout player at this point, I want you to post down in the comments, how much do you actually not want Bethesda to even attempt bug fixes? Because there's probably some modder who's doing this for free currently and trying his best. And God knows that Bethesda's just gonna ruin all his efforts in like 2 days by breaking the game more and fixing it less. Because we all know that that's gonna be the outcome. Bethesda is like Blizzard Entertainment, because a lot of people don't know this about Blizzard, but these companies are the same in the sense that they made stuff and then players begged them to not fix anything else, that the players are going to manage their stuff. This actually happened for StarCraft. Blizzard was horrible at balancing the game, so people started balancing it by actually making creating maps to balance the game. Yeah, stuff like that is kind of insane, is it not? And Bethesda is in the same space. No one trusts the Bethesda developers to fix anything, because, well, we know how this ends.
And that big thing that many of you have been wanting, it's happening. At 5:42 on November 12th, Bethesda posted about Fallout 4's upcoming hotfixes and yes, creation storage increase plans. The mod storage increase is finally happening after all these years. We're actively investigating issues you've encountered with the latest Fallout 4 update and Anniversary Edition launch. You should now see faster load times on the creation menu, game menu, and redemption of Creation Club items. And yeah, this is true. Loading into the creation menu now actually works, when previously it really wasn't working.
The fact that Bethesda needed 2 days to fix something that gives them money shows how absolutely, well, how bad this is. Also, what the hell is with the rainbow stuff here? Oh, jeez.
So that is definitely an improvement, but it feels like the bare minimum, like bare functionality has been restored. We plan to publish a hotfix early next week to address the following: fixing stability problems, particularly on Xbox One/PS4. This is about the crashing. There's been a huge uptick in freezing and crashing in Fallout 4 after this update has gone live, which is pretty rough considering this is even beyond all of the other problems right now. A huge subset of players have a...
Again, some of you are surprised, some of you think I'm a prophet that knows the future because I predict that Bethesda fixes something, it gets worse. No, I mean, everyone who has followed Bethesda for like a month probably knows that every time Bethesda fixes something, it just gets worse.
Crash increase. I've actually been fortunate enough on PC to not crash once on Fallout 4's Anniversary Edition, fixing an issue causing creations that rely on DLC to not work. This is the real game-breaking problem right now. You cannot activate any mods that rely on DLC, which functionally means a huge portion of mods are just broken. And the worst part of that is many players can't load into their save games anymore, because if you load in without any of those mods on, the save game might just break. So all of those people basically can't play Fallout 4 right now. And lastly, on PlayStation, there is a separate issue where the DLCs actually get uninstalled. On other platforms, it's just the mod menu thinking you don't have the DLCs installed, but they do still work. PlayStation users just are losing the DLC, but that too will be fixed. And while all of that is getting fixed, it won't happen until...
You know, we talked about Mr. Matty stabbing Bethesda cold-heartedly in the back. Luke Steffens saying bad things about Bethesda, but... You know, boys, you know the Juicehead is never gonna actually say anything. But we're 2 minutes into this 5-minute video, and I mean, do you not have this strange feeling when you're listening to Juicehead speak about this problem that it almost seems, it somehow seems that everything he's describing is not actually somehow Bethesda's fault. That it's just a thing that randomly happens and no one should be blamed for anything. It's just so detached. It is insane. I don't know about you, but I definitely feel that way. It's truly enlightening to a degree.
Early next week, which honestly is pretty tough. Not being able to commit to Monday definitively means the Anniversary Edition update might have made Fallout 4 unplayable for over a week for a bunch of people. That's just a really bad look considering this is the second time this happened. This was supposed to be the fix-it update. It's really good they're tackling all of the big issues in this initial update.
Yeah, even that, which should assign 100% blame and accountability, those sentences, they even felt somehow to me that it's not really blaming Bethesda or incompetence or anything like that. It's just stating that the situation is not good somehow. This is a talent, okay?
That's the major and critical stuff. But honestly, if I was waiting to play this game, I would probably just move on to something else at that point. And if you're somebody in this situation...
Oh yeah, like, oh no, the Elder Worlds stew, garbage dumpster fire.
I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Is your Fallout 4 broken? Can you no longer play on one of your saves? What are you doing? And I guess things are really bad because Bethesda is...
Again, shout out to the guy who commented a year ago, pretty much at this point, that he made it that every time that his Fallout game downloads a file from Bethesda, it gets converted to a read-only document and cannot actually impact the game. Shout out to that dude, okay? Shout out to the dude who made it that the update files are being made into whatever read-only documents that don't actually affect anything. That Giga Chad smart.
Even laying out their future patch plans beyond this one. The hotfix will be followed by 2 patches. The first patch will be the week of November 24th, and the second in the first half of December. We'll provide an overview of these patches soon. Thank you for your continued updates and support tickets. It's helped us to pinpoint issues. We'll work to address these as quick as we can. They do go on to share one detail about the November patch, but it is overall interesting how they call these patches. It implies something larger than the initial hotfix, which very well may be just these 3 changes. 2 more patches hopefully means more bug fixes for Fallout 4 in general, but of course the plethora of other issues from the Anniversary Edition update are likely what'll be the priority. One really big one is if you actually are somebody who buys this creation bundle, this will contribute a ton to the total amount of allowed BA2s in Fallout 4. There's a limit to BA2s, and once you hit this limit, which you could do by adding more mods to the game, which a lot of people will be doing as, oh yeah, the mod space is increasing, once past that limit, limit, the game just crashes from the main menu. So Bethesda will hopefully reduce this, otherwise the Anniversary Edition may lead to a worse modding experience overall for the new players that adopt it. As time goes on, people are just going to buy Anniversary Edition thanks to sales. So stuff like this could actually have a really big impact over the years. But notably in the November patch, Xbox Series X and S players will see the creation's local storage limit increase substantially.
Again, some of you know my opinion, but in case you don't actually, I expect Fallout Season 2 to be an absolute disaster. I expect not even half of the people who were fanning the flames of, oh, look at Fallout, the TV show, it's great. I don't expect even half of those people returning. And I expect a super crash of Fallout Season 2. Because, again, I think it was just all tourists. From my standpoint, everything that I see, it's touristy. When initially I made videos talking about the Fallout TV show being lackluster garbage in a lot of respects, it's a 5 out of 10 show, aggressively 5 out of 10. Some parts are really good, some parts are disgustingly, unbelievably bad. But, from the videos that I made, when the TV show was happening, those videos sometimes got even 50% dislike ratios because of the fans saying, oh no, none of the lore was destroyed, what are you talking about, I don't care about anything, blah blah blah. You know, it wasn't even arguments, it was just like, I like the TV show, you should support me liking the TV show, you know, that level of brain rot. And after this TV show was coming to a conclusion, coming to its end, the dislike ratio started dropping. To the point where I could upload my typical video and it, well, my show reviews, and it would get the typical amount of dislikes as any other of my videos, you know, to between 3 and 5%. That's the typical dislike ratio for my videos. So, I know I'm right. But yeah, my opinions did not change. But the dislike ratios massively started to become normal. Which makes me fully believe that the Fallout TV show was only enjoyed by tourists. So, there you go. And tourists are notoriously well known to not come back. Yeah, tourists are there for 1 episode, 2 episodes a season, and after that, they're out. And considering this TV show is probably the only thing that Bethesda has even slightly going for themselves, and considering, well, Microsoft actually forced Bethesda to make, well, they didn't force them. Todd Howard did not have the ability to say no for the TV show being made, because Xbox was also making a Halo TV show, and this was the first thing that Microsoft actually saw success in their Amazon TV productions, right? And since this is their first success in a pretty reasonably high line of failures at this point, they're gonna put in more and extra effort into the Season 2. And and in all ways, I mean, Fallout 76 has gotten so many garbage dumpster fire, no one cares updates in the past year because of this whole situation. It's insane. And all of them are garbage. All of them have also broken the game, which is obviously typical Bethesda shit. But yes, I cannot wait when the Fallout TV show drops, and the audience is just not there. I fully believe that that's gonna happen. Now, granted, I give it like a 70% chance of that happening. There's still a pretty good chance it's gonna get a lot of viewers, but it's not gonna be even remotely close to what it was previously. I can't wait until that happens, because that is gonna make Microsoft freak out on Bethesda.
Growing up to 100 gigabytes to match your needs. We are also looking into increasing storage on PlayStation, and that would be a massive change. The current limit is just 2 gigabytes, which is brutal, and the recent update made it even worse, as now mods require working space to install, so you need even more than their posted allotment. It actually requires a bit extra to fully install the mod. 100 gigabytes is massive. That could open up some interesting potential with DLC-sized mods coming to consoles, for the first time really ever. The other big hurdle for a lot of these mods is the script extender. That's not something Bethesda's ever indicated would be coming to consoles, so that's completely up in the air. But as horrible as the overall Fallout 4 anniversary launch has been, this change could really be a silver lining. A mod limit increase like this could lead to an explosion of mod choices on consoles, and likely some mod authors returning and totally new mods coming out. The console modding scene is about to get a huge influx of players with Season 2 of the Fallout TV show, and this mod increase dropping just a couple of weeks before that could set up a very interesting situation. If you're playing Fallout 4 on Xbox right now, get ready to start a new playthrough this December. It really seems like cool stuff is happening. But of course, this is too little too late. This should have been here on November 10th, and as great as it is that fixes are on the way, because evidently after last year's update, fixes in a timely fashion definitely aren't guaranteed from this company, so I really can't give Bethesda too much praise on this one, but I do feel for the everyday employees that are stuck dealing with this mess.
Yeah, well, anyway, that was Juice Head. 10 out of 10, boys. 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye.